Chris, please tell me you got that launch on video.
I definitely did, and it was brilliant.
Well, yeah, I'm pleased with the outcome.
I'm going to run up ahead and get the other driver might be behind.
Okay, thanks, Chris. We love your work, Chris. We've just taken off a little bit west of Nukan Tundra, and we've just about finished our southerly leg that we had to do. So now we will have better winds. You may not be able to see it, but ahead there's a little bit of ground fog. First time we've seen fog for a long time. Anyway, I'll climb up, get over these trees. Oh, right. There's rotor from that little hill to the and try to climb up above it. Justin and Pete, did you get absolutely rotated when you got onto that straight section of road?
Negative, it was rough and buttery and high.
And did you go high to try to get out of it?
Yes, we are high now, and we're out of it, and we're at 28 kilometres down around speed.
Okay, how high are you?
Oh, about that high, out of the rough stuff.
Affirmative, Red Leader, affirmative. Okay, there's a little example of why flying with other people is a good idea. Well, not a good idea, but it makes it more efficient. You can broadcast, ask questions about rotor and how people deal with it. They ended up going higher, which is a solution. Just taken off after a quick refuel at Nukan Tundra. I guess I don't need to say a quick refuel because all of the refuels are quick. Basically, got to where the boys had landed, the cars were there, the windsock was there, did 2 circuits just to work out the best place to land. Landed, putting fuel in my engine as quickly as possible, laying out my wing, restarting the engine, getting into my harness, putting my parachute instruments and helmet on, and launching as quickly as possible. The boys are still ahead of me somehow. They're just so much quicker than I am. Got a tailwind, engine is 187, thank you Scotty Skymeg, making good pace, and now just focus on finding the right altitude to get the best possible ground speed. My job now is to try to catch up to the boys. I've got my trimmers out and going 42 knots at 1,400 feet above sea level. I'll climb up a bit and see if we can get slightly better speed. So I'll go up to 1,600 feet and then compare our speed. I've got 45 knots ground speed at 1,550 feet. So I'll climb up 200 feet. See how that 45 knots changes. 207, so I need to start slowing down. Okay, our ground speed at 1,700 feet, our ground speed is 44 knots. And my engine is 184 degrees. So that is all good. You'll see me moving my head from side to side occasionally. That's so I can steer using weight shift. Basically, I'm just lifting up my leg and moving my head to load up a different section of the wing. I could use brakes, but to change direction, but using brakes will induce a little bit more lift as well as drag, and drag is not what I want. In the morning, it's a total race for me to try to get ready as soon as possible and take off with the boys. Unfortunately, I'm a lot slower than they are. Roll up my swag as quickly as possible and drag that over to the car. Put everything in the car that I need, take out my instruments and my parachute, helmet, get my wing, set up my wing, and setting up the wing, I do it as carefully as possible. We've got a rake so we can rake the ground to get rid of any twigs or branches or anything that might interfere with the lines or catch the lines and cause a bad inflation. Give a hand to anyone who needs a hand e.g. lifting heavy equipment onto the top of the ute. I'm now ready to start my engine. The acronym I use for checking my engine is fuel, air and spark produces the exhaust safely. Fuel, check the fuel cap, all the fuel lines. Air, check the airbox, check the airbox boot, check that it is secure. Spark, check the spark plug boot, push that down, check the electricals. Producers, P, check the propeller, free and easy, check the leading edge of the propeller. V, check the throttle, check that the throttle returns when I let the throttle go. Check it on the card. Exhaust, check that the exhaust is secure. I've now pre-flighted my engine. I will start that just to make sure that it's starting. Run it for 20 seconds, hit the kill switch. I'll then get into my harness, stand up, do up all of the straps, check them. Two legs. What I'll actually do is I'll count them off as I do them up. So leg 1, leg 2, waist 3, chest 4. And then I'll just check them. I'll then go put my helmet on and then put my parachute on. When I put my parachute on, I will count the buckles. Left attachment, right attachment, left parachute, right parachute. I will then start my engine again, walk over to the wing, check that the wing layout is still reasonable, and then launch. Unfortunately, the other guys are generally ahead of me by the time I've done this. So then I'll play catch up. A little bit of a quick reflection on the second flight this morning. I made quite a serious mistake this morning. Ended up taking off from Nokatundra after taking off later after Peter and Justin. Took off, followed the road, and then when the road turned right, I turned right and missed where the tar road goes. Ended up finding myself in a fairly desolate spot. I believe that the road that I was on was the development road, but it turns out that it wasn't. I indicated to other people that I wasn't on the highway. Justin said very wisely, go back to the tar. I didn't do that stupidly. I ended up going the way that I believe would take me to the road. If I'd had an engine out, it would have been almost impossible for people to find me, so I would have put myself at danger. I would have put other people at danger, and possibly caused the trip to stop. So that was absolutely stupid, and I've learned my mistake. I've had another big learning experience, and thanks to the fantastic people on this trip, especially Justin, Peter Hart, Brendan, Peter Tracy, Charles, Clive, Dave and Roland, and the other people that will join us.
If this video has been useful, please subscribe and click the notifications button, or comment or like.